This is the entertaining part of the video where you get to witness what most couples witness when they're lying in bed with each other thinking about what to do. Someone with their nose tucked into a phone, completely not paying attention. Remember what I said earlier about when a person walks by, how our attention suddenly, we attend to ourselves and them and we lose our flow? When you have one of these things stuck to the end of your nose and you're tapping away on it while your partner's talking, I don't care who you are, you're not paying attention. You're not listening to them. Your mind can't do that. You're mostly here. You're generating all kinds of memories, all kinds of ideas, and the stimulating stuff is here. See, the ADHD, if I have this in my hand and I'm playing with this, there's no way I'm paying attention to my wife. She would have to be more stimulating than a color screen with 30 or 40 games and hot and cold running information that I can pull up at any moment, not to mention pornography. Really, like, you want an average person to compete with one of those? Good luck, man. You got to put them away every now and then. And that's a big part of what this show is about. This thing will destroy your relationship. It will rewire you over and over again. Every time you lie in bed, instead of wondering what your partner's doing, who your partner is, what kind of interests she has, your brain is going to go to your game. It's going to go to your friends on Facebook, most of whom you hardly know, to tell you the honest truth. And you'll get lost in it. And the relationship will slowly deteriorate. Because every night you're supposed to be training yourself to think, oh man, I am so glad to get into bed with my lovely, lovely, lovely partner here. We're going to have one of those conversations that we just don't get time to do anymore. It might even turn into some sex. That's going to be a good night. Not, oh good, I get to go line little candies and crystals up and hope to win some coins that I can spend on things that don't exist. Hooray! That's not going to help you guys. You got to put the phones away. And one of the greatest ways to do that is to play a game, have an activity that raises the stimulus level of the conversation. Because you want to give your partner and your relationship a chance to be more interesting than the rest of all of this techno noise that we fill our heads with. At a game, have a nice conversation, hold hands, you'll learn stuff. You'll grow way, way, way farther than if you just watch TV and play apps all the time. Your relationship will deteriorate, your app collection will grow, and your attention span will shrink to a tiny, tiny morsel of what it once was. And honestly, you won't have the attention to even pay attention to your partner long enough to understand what they're talking about, what they need, or who they are. We poison ourselves with all of these devices and all of these social media things around us. Spend the time every now and then, people. Spend the time on another person. And if a relationship really means something to you, take care of it. Do everything in your power. It will leave you. The 3 worst words that I think have ever been put into the English language in a row is happily ever after. Because my question is how? How did you get to happily ever after? It wasn't about climbing a tower, killing a dragon, and kissing the princess. It doesn't work that way. That's when it gets hard. That's when it gets really, really, really hard, and you have to learn how to put up with how irritating that princess is, and how difficult and how different she is from you, and how you're going to manage to make a safe, warm place for the two of you to grow. And a lot of that can be done by finding common goals and common activities. Bonding rituals is a great place to start because you're going to need to learn how to navigate different situations together, how to talk, how to care, how to learn about each other, because we forget. We have to constantly be reminding ourselves how wonderful that person is. And if our brain gets into a state of negative sentiment override, meaning that we only remind ourselves how irritated we are with that person, what a pain that other person is, and how difficult that other person is, yeah, the contempt and the sneer will start to come out on our personalities, and that person won't want to spend time with us anymore. And the friendship will die, and we will end up alone or married and alone. That's where affairs come in, people. Don't go down that road. Spend the time you need on the relationship that you have. Make it the greatest relationship you possibly can. It's probably one of the most valuable things you will ever have in your entire life. And it needs It deserves at least the amount of care and attention you put into your car or your board game collection. Take care, people.